Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 49er Pulse Show. This is episode 6 of the podcast. It has been crazy. I know. Y'all are hearing this episode 6 and be like, what? People are probably thinking, like, I thought this dude just started the podcast. Nah, me and my man Javier over here have been doing our podcast and then kind of stopped after the Super Bowl because of COVID. And literally, so much has changed after that. It's freaking crazy. It's unbelievable as to our personal lives, 49ers, and just everything, our freaking work and everything has just been absolutely crazy. But hey, we are here now, aren't we, Javier?
Oh yeah, we're back. We're doing good. Glad to
There we
be
go.
back. So
There we
let's get
go.
this thing going.
Heck yeah, man. So a lot has changed. I mean, we missed kind of a year of the podcast as to talk. So this year, the 49ers didn't go to the Super Bowl last year. They didn't bounce back. The revenge tour absolutely failed,
Yeah,
to be honest. That's
completely,
just, yeah, that's just how it
completely.
went. I mean, to be honest with you. I mean, I think shit started rolling downhill after that Nick Bosa injury, man. I'll be honest with you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean that this referencing onto COVID. COVID just with the entire league just really made a hard time for the NFL. These players, so many injuries, ACL tears. I mean, these players were not ready and fit to play a full NFL season, and
Yeah,
it definitely showed. Definitely.
exactly, man. It's just sad because I mean I know with all this COVID stuff has been crazy, and realistically that's the brutal, honest truth. Players were not ready. They weren't able to condition as much as they used to, you know.
Exactly.
And I mean, ever since Nick Bosa went down and all these injuries, we started getting plagued. Man, it affects us so much. Like, dude, I'm telling you, if Bosa was healthy the entire season, I honestly think we would have had a winning record. And yes, I know that's a pretty bold statement, but that's just how good of a player Bosa is. And we've seen that shit in when we made that Super Bowl run in his rookie year.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I personally agree too. And just to add on top of that, key players, especially Jimmy G.
Hmm.
If Jimmy G was able to stay healthy alongside with Nick Bosa, I'm pretty sure we would have been, making a playoff run.
At
You
least
know what I mean?
playoffs for
But
sure.
exactly. But the key word is if and healthy.
Yep.
And one of those words were definitely not on our side this year,
Yep.
and it was clearly obvious.
Yep, exactly, and it's sad, but hey, at that point we're kind of used to it, unfortunately. But hey, it's a new
Yeah.
year. It's 2021. This whole COVID stuff is kind of dying down more. Players they work their way around as to how to work out and all this stuff. So hey, that's great. I honestly think this year a lot more, if not the whole league will be ready and a lot more fit compared to last year, especially with the whole COVID protocol and all this vaccination stuff that's out now and everything. Um, so I think we'll be good when it comes towards staying healthy. I just, knock on wood, I'm just hoping that everything will be all good.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so this past season has been kind of wild as to the injuries, but also kind of the decline that we saw in players, So keep in
Oh
mind,
yeah.
faithful, whoever's tuning in, it's already April 13th, 2021. So free agency has come and gone. We re-signed Trent Williams to a massive contract. We signed Alex Mack. We re-signed key guys, and at the same time, we unfortunately had to let others go. But that's just
Yeah.
how it was. That's how tight the money was this year. But I am honestly really confident as to where our team stands right now. I just think as long as we nail this draft, we will be absolutely great. And that's kind of what this episode is about. Episode 6 is the, comeback slash quarterback slash NFL talk or draft talk. I mean,
Yep.
um, so, I'm sure everybody is aware, when I was at work, the blockbuster trade happened where we traded a first round pick and some more picks for the third overall pick in the 2021 draft with the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
So let's just start out by saying this. I guess I'll ask you and then I'll ask myself. Do you think that this trade was specifically to get a quarterback in the first round at number 3?
You know, and that my opinion specifically on this is you don't trade from where you're at in the teens into the top three and not draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
This draft is quarterback rich.
Mm.
You have names Trevor Lawrence. You have Zach Wilson. You got Justin Fields. You got Mac Jones. You got Kyle Trask. have so many quarterbacks that are in this draft, and you don't trade it to top three to draft an offensive lineman
Yeah.
or a corner. It's just a tradition throughout the NFL.
Hmm.
Top three picks usually just go straight quarterbacks. You
Yep.
know, Yeah. So I mean, to me, we mortgaged our future. Um,
Yeah.
so
That
I
yeah,
hope
for real.
Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch did not trade up just to draft a corner or a lineman. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
alongside with all the faithful,
Yeah.
um, I'm hoping for a scarlet jersey being held up by a guy named Mr. Fields.
There
So
we go.
we'll see, we'll see.
Yep, I agree. And me and you have been really, and I agree with you 100%. Like I've told people before, like you do not go this high up in the draft and draft Kyle Pitts, or I think that's his name, right?
Exactly.
Kyle
Yeah,
Pitts
Kyle
or
Pitts.
whoever.
Yeah.
But you don't draft that high for a wide receiver or a cornerback. Nobody. You do draft that high, and it's not just like a one pick. We traded multiple picks. You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? And that is for a quarterback. And I am truly I can bet money on it. I can bet anything that we will draft a quarterback in that round. Now, I really hope we don't come back to the episode after the draft day and be like, "Well, shit, what happened?" But I'm really sure that we will draft a quarterback. Um, and I guess that kind of leads into the topic where you said Fields, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and arguably Mac Jones are this year's top quarterbacks.
Yep.
Right. So let's just kind of start out by saying I don't think the 49ers are going to get Trevor Lawrence. That's just no. I don't
That's
see him. I don't even see him fitting into Shanahan's system. That I'm being brutally honest.
yeah.
Um, I personally don't want Lawrence, even if he was at number 3. That's just me. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just being real. Um, I do, however, if Zach Wilson was at number 3, I would definitely take Zach Wilson number 1. He is my number 1 draft crush.
Oh yeah.
Now, I do not think that will happen because of reports saying that the Jets have committed to Zach Wilson. They started recruiting his family, and plus they traded Sam Darnold to the Panthers. I mean, it's kind of a given. Like you got to think about it. I mean, there's no way. I mean, there's no way that the Jets don't take Wilson or Fields or whoever. But I honestly think they're going to go ahead and draft Zach Wilson. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Obviously Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars have already came out number one pick. And everyone knows, and everyone can bet their retirement, their pension, that Jacksonville is going to draft Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Regarding the New York Jets, there's been multiple reports that came out that the 49ers were having talk with Robert Saleh and
Hmm.
company about trading to the number 2 pick, but obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah.
New York, and there was also reports too that some players that the Jets signed for free agency were told that Sam Darnold would be the starting quarterback. Obviously,
Hmm.
that didn't come out to be true. They sent
Yeah.
Sam Darnold packing to the Carolina Panthers. So obviously now it's clear and obvious that New York is going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's going to be Zach Wilson.
Hmm.
Um, you can't mess that up. But you never know.
Yeah, no, for
I,
sure. I mean, you really don't ever know. I mean, when it comes towards football, like I had a feeling Sam Darnold was going to be traded, but honestly, I'm kind of surprised that he went to the Panthers. I mean, I guess it kind of makes more sense because I mean, it's really one of the only teams that are really desperate. But at the same time, Teddy Bridgewater is not that bad. Um, it's
yeah,
it's it's just interesting. Like I don't know. It's definitely they did a smoke screen, like you said, when they told players like Sam Darnold will be the starting quarterback. I think that was just a big smoke screen, sure, but
mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like Robert Saleh, like this guy wants to win. He's really
Yep.
competitive, and I honestly didn't. I honestly think that when he looked at Darnold, he didn't see winning 100%. All gas, no
Mm-hmm.
brakes. You know what I mean? And that's his motto, and that's his saying. And yeah, I when he looks at Zach Wilson, I really think that's what he sees, and that's what I think that's who I think they're honestly going to go with.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I think with that too, and to go along with that, Zach Wilson is a freaking baller.
yeah, no doubt.
He's my draft crush too. Watching him coming out of BYU, he's a
Mhm.
straight baller. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I like Lawrence too, but I don't think he would fit in our system.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Zach Wilson is just a baller. No offense to Trevor. I think he's also one in a lifetime
Yeah.
generational talent alongside with Wilson. But with me, sitting at 3,
Mhm.
you have Justin Fields, you have Trey Lance, you have Mac Jones, and then of course, a name that no one's really mentioning or talking about, Kyle Trask out of Florida. So you have 4 possible quarterbacks sitting right there in front of you,
Yeah.
and sitting in front of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. If I was there, that it comes down to 3 quarterbacks for me at least:
Yeah.
Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones.
Yep.
You know what
I
I
agree.
mean? So, but personally with me, although there's of course, I've watched Alabama play football this year. I've watched Ohio State. I really,
Mhm.
you really don't get a chance to watch North Dakota State with Trey Lance, but you know, other reports are coming out saying that Mac Jones is the most NFL ready quarterback in this
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah.
And coming out of a program like Alabama, Nick Saban, and a powerhouse of an offense and defense,
Mhm.
it's to me that it's just it puts a question mark over my head because it's like every quarterback that Alabama has, they put up good numbers,
Yeah.
but it doesn't always translate over into the NFL.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with Ohio State too. No knock on Justin Fields, but when was the last time you heard of a successful quarterback coming out of either school, Ohio State or Alabama? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Realistically speaking, because if you look at um, Alabama, their track record, wide receivers, running backs, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, tight ends. I mean, it's
Yeah.
prestigious.
Yeah.
You look at
Exactly.
quarterback, it's like who was the last successful one? Same thing with Ohio
Yeah.
State, offense, wide receiver, O line, running back, defense, prestigious. You look at the
Yeah.
quarterback room, who was the last successful one? So it's hopefully, with me, it's, I like Fields, but I also like Trey Lance. So, we'll see. And
Yeah.
what are your thoughts about, sitting at 3?
I mean, honestly, me personally, what I think it comes down to is like what you said, Fields, Lance, or Mac Jones. And I mean, let me just start out by talking about a little bit Mac Jones. Mac Jones, sure, he is NFL ready per se, yes. Do I see him as somebody that comes in week 1, week 2, week 5 even, and balls the fudge out and freaking balls out like crazy, or being at least a good leader slash good starter? You don't have to ball out and pull a Colin Kaepernick rookie year. I'm saying like even to be a good quarterback. A good quarterback can still win games. I don't see that from him. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't. I mean, he is a good player, and I think as long it's gonna take time though. It's gonna really take time. Mac Jones really reminds me a lot of players like Sam Darnold and stuff, but better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, I can definitely see him doing well in the league. I can see him doing very well for sure, but not right away.
Mm-hmm.
And plus you trade up that high. I don't think you get Mac Jones. I just don't see it. I really don't think so because Mac Jones can throw the ball, right? He can throw the ball. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like Shanahan already had these quarterbacks where they're really good at throwing, but they're not as versatile when it comes towards running or saving the play by running out of the pocket, like Russell Wilson and stuff like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
what you got to admit, with those kind of games like Russell Wilson, you take Russell Wilson, most of the games or a lot of the games that they win or they clutch out, they save their asses because of Russell Wilson. You
Mm-hmm.
realistically, you not the defense, not the wide receiver, Russell Wilson. Dude can throw, dude can run away. I thought a lot of people don't realize that. They talk about, throw the ball, throw or run, but what about running away? Because there will be time
Mm-hmm.
like the NFL just continues evolving. Like the defenses that you see get scarier and scarier. Like these guys are beasts coming out of college. Like
Right.
these guys, like Nick Bosa comes out of college, freaking what was it? Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolute unit, absolute beast. And you got to look at that from at a quarterback. Um, what I personally think, like, I see Mac Jones being a good quarterback in the league, absolutely. But I do not see the 49ers drafting him. And that's not me being, biased or anything like that or hating. Absolutely not. I'm just being honest. I'm just stating my opinion out there. I don't think that we get Mac Jones at number 3.
Yeah.
I think it's either going to come down to Trey Lance or Justin Fields. And if faithful that are tuning in and stuff, if you guys follow a lot of the news and kind of the rumors and stuff like that and reports on Instagram and stuff like that, you see that Shanahan has, worked with Fields as coach or something. Like, I got a Twitter notification right here, 49ers and NBC. Kyle Shanahan frequently talks with Justin Fields, QB coach. Trey Lance is too. John Beck coaches both prospects, and he used to play for Shanahan too. So think about that. And Kyle Shanahan is going to get also a private, view of Justin Fields and Trey Lance. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be close as to who we draft because there is, I guess, some controversy about Trey Lance, right? And I kind of agreed at first, but now I'm kind of like, I don't know, At first, what I thought when I looked at Trey Lance, dude can ball, but I don't think that he was NFL ready because, I felt like he was not ready. I felt like he didn't have enough competition because he's younger, right? I believe he's younger than Fields. I think he's like, 20, 21?
So he's in the early 20s. I know that.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong about the age, like absolutely not. But what I'm saying is the people that he played in college, I feel like were more of a straight out of high school talent compared to guys that are about to go in the NFL. Yeah. And Trey Lance is a baller. Like if we draft Trey Lance, I will be happy. I'm actually not going to be upset one bit because he reminds me honestly a little bit of, I want to say Colin Kaepernick because Colin Kaepernick, he was kind of slept on. He was looked at as like, oh, he didn't get enough practice. He didn't get enough this and that. He didn't come from a big school, right? Mm-hmm. From a popular school like Ohio State. Mm-hmm. But with the right coaching, Jim Harbaugh, the way he taught and coached Colin Kaepernick, look what happened. Colin Kaepernick balled out over time. Yes, he fell over and stuff, but honestly, I felt like that had to do with a lot of the drama and Trent Baalke not giving weapons. But that's the past. Yeah. But I can see Trey Lance under Kyle Shanahan, the coaching and everything. I can see Trey Lance being a winner and a baller and even a starter in this upcoming season in 2021. I can see that. But it's just so hard. I'm literally 50-50 on. So, okay, let me just say this. Justin Fields is the top guy if we don't get Zach Wilson for me. I've seen a lot of critics complaints saying, he doesn't throw away the ball or he doesn't throw away enough. But, dude, you know how many clips and highlights I've seen of him actually throwing the ball on the run and being hit? And he reminds me of like CJ Beathard a little bit as to the toughness level. Dude can take hits and gets right up and fights with his heart out.
Oh, yeah.
And you saw CJ like the past years, and I'm sorry, man, CJ's a baller. I have nothing but respect to him. But, dude, whenever he played, almost all the time, he got smacked, and I felt so bad because of our O-line.
Yeah. And that's just to go with it. It's just, and another thing that us 49er fans have to understand is Jimmy Garoppolo is still QB1. At the end of the day, whoever we draft, Jimmy G is going to be QB1, at least for one more year, at least the least. And going on with the draft too is I hope. Just like how Kyle Shanahan said in that news conference with John Lynch, that this does piss Jimmy off and this lights a fire on his ass, so he can play better, And Kyle has admitted himself when Jimmy is pissed, he plays 10 times better. And if we can get a Jimmy that plays 10 times better and a healthy Jimmy, and imagine what this team could do alongside with the healthy 49ers team. I can seriously see another Super Bowl run with Jimmy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But the way that I see it is whoever we draft at 3 is going to be sitting and learning from Jimmy and Kyle.
Yep.
Until they're ready. You know what I mean? And that's just my thing. So that's one thing that That's go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I mean, like, it's true. And that's the way I thought. And, I talked to the Fantasy Sports Show. I can't remember his username right off the hand on my head, but I was doing the live stream with him a little bit, and he talked about, I think that they're going to trade him. He was saying that he thinks they're going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo and all this stuff. And he had a good point. He did. He said that if we don't trade him, and let's say he does complete shit, this upcoming year,
Hmm.
his value goes way down. And he had a
Yeah.
point. That's very true. Very true. So think about it this way. This is kind of the way I see it playing out. Do I think Jimmy Garoppolo will be starter week 1? Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Do I see him possibly being traded mid-season when, people are doing their trades before, they make push for playoffs and stuff? I can see it if he does not do good, or he gets either he gets hurt. Honestly, I feel like if
Hmm.
he gets hurt, it's game over, Kyle. I'm sorry, but it's a business. That's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna pull the plug and be like, hey, we're sorry, but we're done. Like
Yeah.
we need healthy guys. And I love Jimmy. He's a great guy. He's a great quarterback, but he had one whole full healthy year and then 2 unhealthy years.
Hmm.
So if he does do good, then fuck yeah, man. Like I'm down. I'm happy with that. I'm all for it. And I'm down with having Justin Fields or Trey Lance behind Jimmy Garoppolo and learning that. But
Yeah.
like I said, I can see him getting traded. So A, if he gets hurt, or B, if he completely does bad, throws picks, doesn't win games, doesn't clutch, doesn't do good, or anything else, I can see him getting traded, and then Justin Fields or Trey Lance or whoever that quarter QB2 is becoming QB1 mid-season. I can see that. Or I mean, who
Hmm.
knows? Who knows? It might go like exactly as I said, where Jimmy Garoppolo is bad, but he just gets benched and we don't trade him. But it
Hmm.
wouldn't make sense for us not to trade him or something because we do have to get rid of that money that we owe him, type of deal.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I just I'm really hoping we either get Fields or Lance. I love Fields in a 49ers jersey and Lance, but I do prefer Fields over Lance just due to the fact that I feel like Fields has a lot more experience and a lot more, I guess, knowledge when it comes towards the plays and pressure and running and all this stuff compared to Trey Lance. Because,
Hmm.
Justin Fields was going up, Clemson and all these guys, Trevor Lawrence's defense and everything. And he played well. He played his ass off and he balled out. He played against guys that have NFL talent that are about to go into the NFL.
Yeah.
Not guys that are just right out of high school or not going into the NFL, whatever. And don't get me wrong, I'm not dissing on Trey Lance one bit. Dude is a baller. If we get Trey Lance
Hmm.
number 3, I'm going to clap and cheer. Absolutely. But if we get Fields, I'll be even a little bit happier because I just feel like I feel more confident with Justin Fields over Trey Lance just at the moment because obviously we're going to see some more highlights at camp and stuff of Trey Lance and stuff. So I mean, who knows? My opinion might change a little bit. I mean,
Hmm.
I've been seeing a lot more Trey Lance highlights and a lot more Trey Lance talks, and honestly, that kid's good. That kid
Yeah.
is really good, and I can see him being a 49er, but I can also see Justin Fields being a 49er. So,
Yeah.
moral of the story as to what I'm trying to say is, I honestly think, and I'm willing to bet that either Justin Fields or Trey Lance will be QB number 2 start, or I guess after the draft, come training camp and week 1 and all of that.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I definitely could put my money on either of them being QB number 2. You know what I mean? But
Mm,
you I don't know. It's Zach Wilson
yeah,
and Trey Lance have always been my true draft crushes. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And I know the critics say what they say about Trey Lance. North Dakota State, not really a big school. They don't play big school teams. But you look at quarterbacks that came out of there, other
yeah,
quarterbacks that came out of small schools, you know what I mean? You
yeah,
have
no
Josh
doubt.
Allen. You have um, Carson Wentz. You have Tony Romo, Eastern Illinois. You have Jimmy Garoppolo coming out of Eastern Illinois. You have quarterbacks in the NFL that have had success that's playing
Yeah.
now or have retired. And you know what I mean? So I can't really knock on Trey Lance for not having big time competition, but
No,
at
for
the
sure.
same time, it's like the dude's a baller.
Yeah,
He's a straight baller, and
he is.
if we get him, I mean I compare him kind of to like a Patty Mahomes. The dude's got an arm.
Okay, okay, yeah,
The dude's got an arm,
he
and
does.
you know what I mean. Justin Fields, he's more of a mobile. That's why I kind of never really stuck with. Okay, I'm good with Justin, but it's
Yeah,
just when I look at that, you know, when Kyle and John first got here and took over the job, Kaepernick was still on the team. Um, They sat down with Cap. They said that because of his play style, he didn't fit our offense. And Kaepernick was a mobile style quarterback.
Yep.
Obviously, with injuries to his shoulder, and
Yeah.
so my thing is, okay, well, if they said that, then why would they change that now? I like Fields. I think he can be a pocket passer, especially
Hmm.
with this revamped O line that we have.
Oh yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But
Thank God.
with me, it's either going to be Fields or Lance. I'll be happy with either or. But
Yeah.
going back onto Jimmy, um, regardless of what happens this year, I think this is going to be the last year he is in a 49er uniform.
Yeah.
Even with the highest possibility or the lowest possibility, maybe if we win the Super Bowl this year, I
Hmm.
still think this is Jimmy's last year in a 49er uniform. He's only been healthy one out of the 3 years he's been with us now, four
Yeah.
years he's been with
Yeah.
us,
It's crazy. Yeah.
and we are paying him the big bucks to stay healthy and to lead this team.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
so, and that's one thing that Bill Belichick always says. You know, the best trait that you can have as a player is availability rather than talent.
That's
You
true.
could be the most talented person, but if you can't be available to showcase that talent, it's not worth it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
Exactly. And
I love Jimmy G, but if he can't stay
yeah.
healthy, there's no reason to keep him here.
Exactly. And like I'll always be a fan of Jimmy G, even if we cut him, trade him, whatever. Like it is what it is, but man, like we're fans. Like we want to win. We want a Super Bowl, man. Like that's just how it
Hmm.
is. And think about it, I'm posting stuff, I'm creating content, trying to build my, brand and trying to build my page up and everything, but it it's like I've been in those points where Chip Kelly, Jim Tom Sula, and like first year of Kyle Shanahan, it was tough because of those losses, the injuries, the drama. It sucked, man. It was tough, but like we're fans, we honestly deserve well. Like you freaking look at the Patriots. Remember when they had like that 10-year run or something where they just
Hmm.
balled out? Like fudge, man. Like why can we have that? And honestly,
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan's a wizard. John Lynch is a wizard. Everybody front office is amazing, man. Like we can do great things. We can absolutely ball out and just kick ass. We really truly can, and I believe in that. It just comes down to staying healthy. Look at our Super Bowl run. How do we get there? We stayed healthy and we played smart, one game at a time. Stay healthy, one game, stay healthy. That's how it went. That was the motto. That was the goal. That was the schedule, I guess you could say. That's just how it was, and
Hmm.
it worked out perfect.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, staying healthy. That's they always say the saying, defense wins championships, which it's a true saying, but
Mm-hmm.
also being healthy and having depth, and that's one thing that, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan has done a tremendous job doing in turning this franchise
Yeah,
around in the short
absolutely.
time that they've been here. Because like I said before, and in a previous podcast, you look at teams like Cleveland, you look at
Mm-hmm.
teams like Oakland. Well, no, they're not Oakland no more. Las Vegas.
Yeah.
They've been sorry for so long trying to rebuild, and it's only taken Kyle and John
Mm-hmm.
3 years.
Yep.
A third of the time that other teams have spent trying to rebuild.
Exactly.
So we as fans have to keep trusting the process. You
Yeah.
know, we won a Super Bowl. This franchise has had its glory days, and we deservingly need to go back to
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
You know,
Absolutely. I agree with you, man.
we had the chance when we played in Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still believe if Jimmy hits that throw to Emmanuel Sanders,
I agree.
we're celebrating the sixth ring.
Yeah.
So,
I
but
agree.
like I said, it's ultimately this year coming up, the season coming up is one, uh, whoever we get at three,
Yeah.
developing them, keeping Jimmy healthy, keeping the team healthy, and making a
Yeah.
run.
Exactly. I agree. I feel like this year is honestly a type of make it or break it year. Not like
Yeah.
if we do bad, we're gonna fire everybody. No, I don't think that. Jed York already expressed his loyalty and that he wants Shanahan and John Lynch to stay, and I'm totally fine with that. Absolutely. Like, I'm down.
Yeah.
These guys are ballers. They're smart. They want to win. And you see that clearly. They want to win. The only thing is, when I say make or break, you got to think about it, man. Money's tight. So you got to think about it this year. If we either are unhealthy and don't make play, this is the way I see it. If we don't make playoffs this 2021 season, at least playoffs, I think we go back into a reboot / rebuild phase for the next year or two, and it's going to be a freaking pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is, it's like, a lot of NFL analysts said, 2019 was our Super Bowl window.
Yeah.
And which is completely true. After that season, especially seeing how last season went, I was like, well, great. Now it seems like we're going to start going to a rebuild phase.
Yeah.
And that's something that I really don't want seeing happening. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, specifically John Lynch, Adam Peters, I believe, is what our vice president is.
Mm-hmm.
And then Parag,
yeah.
They did magic this offseason.
Yeah, they really did. They really did.
The re-signing phase, we got key players back that we thought we weren't going to get back. The only one that's really missing that I would like to see come back is Sherman.
Yeah, me too.
But we got Trent back when we were minutes, maybe even seconds from losing him to Kansas City. We got Juszczyk. We got DJ Jones back. We have our secondary coming back, K1, Jaquiski Tart. We signed so many of our players back, and that's what really mattered.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, we addressed what we needed to address. We signed Alex Mack. We brought back Mohamed Sanu. What we did was just magic. So we got better and then some. We added depth.
Yep.
We got better. And now we have the draft to address other stuff that we need to fill in.
And draft can really help with cornerback and all that stuff. And don't forget, we still have, crossing our fingers, imagine if we get a healthy Jalen Hurd this year. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the season. I'm excited for the draft. OTAs are coming up. We have voluntary workouts, I believe, starting Monday or Tuesday of next week.
Oh, sure, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I'm excited.
Me too,
I'm hoping for a good year, but I'm trusting the process. I'm not doubting what Kyle and John are doing. You know what I mean? All these smoke screens and Fields, Mac Jones, Lance. That's one thing that the 49ers have been good. Their front office does not leak information like that. So all this stuff that's coming out, I don't wrap my head around it. For all we know is, not saying it's going to happen, but for all we know, we could literally draft Kyle Pitts at 3. That's how much no one really knows what's going to happen. So
that's true. Yeah, exactly. I mean, realistically, man, I feel like John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they pulled the trigger to get the number 3 pick. I honestly think to get a quarterback because they need to win and they want to win now. There's no waiting. We're not in reboot. We're not in rebuild. We're reload. All right, we're reload. We're just reloading the mag and we're trying to go back shooting, guns blazing. That's just how it is. I feel like that's how the mentality is, and it's going to be one pick at a time, one training session at a time, one thing at a time, and make sure that you're going through it really slow. Not really slow, but just go through it just carefully, cautiously, I guess you could say. So I'm just really excited, man. We got the draft coming up on, I think, April 29th, 5 p.m. It kicks off. So, the faithful tuning in right now. So April 29th is the draft day. It's on a Thursday, it looks like, at 5 p.m. I'm assuming that first round is just going to be critical. It's going to be huge. So, make sure y'all stay tuned on Instagram and Facebook, anywhere you guys follow 49er News, man. Even if you're not following me, just make sure you guys are following along and staying up to date with that stuff, because honestly, this is about to be a whole roller coaster. I feel like after we draft a quarterback, man, it's literally going to be a whole roller coaster as to what we do, who we get, and all this stuff. It's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be absolutely wild, but I am excited as shit. I am so excited. I love it, man. Like I'm just going through it with optimistically and positivity only, and that's just how we got to roll. Especially us faithful. We've been through hell and back, and we here now. We still standing. We still repping, and that's just how it goes. And we got to make sure that we keep on doing that nonstop, 24/7, all day, every day.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Keeping us optimistic with this year, you know, especially with the mandate with COVID. They're allowing
Yep.
fans
Yep.
at limited capacity coming back
Yep.
to the
Yep.
stadium, so that's another big plus for us. As a team too, having fans back in our stadium, playing at our stadium instead of Arizona.
Yeah.
Jesus. So it's a lot of moral boost coming within this year, this season coming
hmm
up. They're actually going to have a full camp, mandatory
Yeah.
OTAs, voluntary workouts, so on and so forth. So we're gonna finally, after a whole year, have a somewhat normal
Yep.
off-season program, but
Exactly.
with protocols. So,
Yep.
like I
And
said,
I think we'll be all good.
oh yeah, I'm feeling good about this year. I don't see
Yeah.
anything
Me too.
wrong. I don't have any bad vibes coming to this year. A whole
Yep.
lot of
Me neither.
competition is going to happen this year within our team, which is great.
Yep.
Iron sharpens iron, so
Exactly.
let's get it going.
Can't wait, man. It's gonna be crazy. We already have weapons right now, healthy O line, a good defense coming back. We got, Sosa right there, Bosa, Bosa and Sosa. Man, that's gonna be
Right.
wild. I can't wait to be chanting that, Sosa Bosa, man, that's gonna be a vibe. I can't wait, it's gonna be great. And then the draft, we're gonna add some more key weapons, key guys, and honestly, man, we're gonna get this bowl rolling. I can feel it, and I got a good feeling in my gut that this year I feel like all eyes are on the 49ers. All eyes are on
Yeah.
the 49ers, man, and what they're going to do, what they're going to do. It all started with the Deshaun Watson hype, and then I'm not even going to talk about Deshaun Watson right now, man, because I don't even know what the
Oh
heck is going
man.
on over there.
Yeah, he's
Shit.
in the he's a 2014 Niners right now. Yeah, he's
Yeah, exactly.
he's
So
he's going
I
through it.
don't know. I just threw that idea completely out of my head. That is never happening. Just not. Uh,
He-
but yeah, I mean, like I said, man, just got to keep our heads up. All right, faithful. We got to keep on repping. We got to keep on vibing. We got to keep them good, positive vibes 24/7, 365 all the time. Um, and, support one another and support the team. Cheer on no matter what. And, kick ass and just absolutely kill it, every day. Um, so, yeah, make sure that you guys go ahead and follow my Instagram at the 49er Pulse and subscribe to the YouTube channel at the 49er Pulse Show. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to listening to me and Javier, I guess, rant a bit and talk about our thoughts and everything about the upcoming draft and kind of our thoughts going into this whole thing and, this whole, I guess, end of the offseason type of deal. It's really exciting. I can't wait for this, man. And, it's going to be absolutely crazy. And I love it.
oh yeah, definitely. Anyone tuning in, keep up with his Instagram, keep up with the podcast. First of many coming through. He's
Yes,
coming
sir.
up. We're coming up together.
Yes, sir.
Stay healthy. Um, Wear a mask. That's
There we go.
another thing I'm going to be really saying. Protect yourself, protect your family, your loved ones,
Yep.
and let's enjoy this season coming up, man.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Much love to everybody tuning in. I don't care if there's even 10 of y'all listening then, like
Right?
I appreciate you. Me and Javier appreciate you, every one of you. And, I'll have them on, honestly, if I can, every episode. And if not, I'll still be trying to make these podcasts and, we'll be vibing. We'll be balling out. And like I said, make sure you guys follow the Instagram at the 49er Pulse. Make sure you give my Twitter a follow also, 49er Pulse. I got to start posting more on there and then subscribe to my YouTube channel, the 49er Pulse Show. So that's a wrap for episode 6. Yes, I know we're really late. We're kind of, but hey, we back 2021 new year, episode 6. Next up, episode 7. I don't know what we about to talk yet. Me and Javier will, kind of talk in the background, but we'll find out what to talk next. But it's going to be good, and I'm excited, man. And we'll definitely make a podcast episode for after the draft and, evaluate, kind of give the grades and everything, man. And I'm excited. And almost exactly 2 weeks until the draft, y'all. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait. But yeah, much love to y'all. And once again, thank you, Javier, for coming on the show and, showing the
Thank you for having
positivity
me.
and love. Appreciate
Yep,
you.
thank you for having me.
Of course, my man. All right, y'all. I hope you all have a good one. Take care of your family. Stay safe. Love one another. Take care of one another. Spread that positivity and love. And once again, Go Niners.